If you have clicked on this video, welcome to this live. This is really going to be like an intuitive download, normally with the things that I share, not so much structured because I speak from the heart. I actually, you can't give me a script. You can't give me something to follow when it comes to my content because it just feels too rigid. But this is a little bit just more intuitively of what I've been feeling. I've also been on client calls all morning. I haven't had a coffee. I'm gonna have a coffee so I can get through my calls. I'm feeling so tired today, again, energetically. Energetically, the past few weeks I've been feeling so tired, and I also want to train later. But if you've clicked on this video and you felt pulled to click on this video, something that I want to share is that at any point in time, you can change your point of attraction. At any point in time, you can change the trajectory of your life. You can quite literally change the way you feel about yourself, the way that you're behaving, the way that you are perceiving everything in your world, the way that you are responding versus reacting. Most people walk around life and they react. They react all the time to the things that are happening to them, and they keep reacting. And you get to choose differently. You get to do things differently. You don't have to normalize struggling and stress and scarcity and lack. And I did that for so long. I normalized struggling and scarcity. I normalized being in lack. I normalized that things were hard or that I had to work really hard to the point of burnout. Things do require discipline. Things do require focus. I say this to my clients. But you get to change at any point, and I'm feeling that there is such a shift right now in the world. And I've been feeling it maybe more specifically the past month, the past 4 to 5 weeks. I've been feeling it in my body energetically. I've been feeling like my nervous system recalibrating. Let me know if you've been feeling the same. I have been looking at myself in the mirror and feeling differently and feeling like there is a shift, feeling like I am shifting. But this only is maintainable. This only is sustainable if, number one, you truly want to shift and change and bring in more into your life, more abundance, more love, more flow, more joy. This is only attainable if you truly believe you have the power, the innate power to shift and to make a change, which you absolutely do. And the masses see life as something that things are happening that are either good or bad. And I govern my life in relation to the universal law of polarity. The universal law of polarity or duality states that with one pole, you are simultaneously having and feeling and experiencing and attracting the opposite side to the pole. So if you have a coin, there are two sides to the coin. But most people, the masses, the way that they see life, they see it as it's either good, full stop, or it's either bad, full stop. But the way that I see life and experience life, and this is helping me integrating changes that I'm making in the 3D physical world, this is helping me integrate energetically what I feel inside my body, or the belief systems that are coming up, the limiting beliefs, the feelings of not being good enough, the feelings of lack and scarcity. What's actually helping me is understanding that I am simultaneously experiencing all of life as it is meant to be at this exact moment. But I can either react to it and perceive it as something that is negative, especially if it is not going in my way that I believe in the 3D physical reality, or I can perceive it as actually something that is feedback, something that is showing me everything that is happening and that I'm meant to attract at this point in time. Everything that you are attracting right now, you are attracting it because you need to see the situation or the experience or the relationship for all sides, and it is happening as it is meant to. I truly believe in perfect divine timing. I truly believe that we need to put in the messy, inspired action towards what we want in life. We should be working in alignment with our values. We should be working in alignment with what truly inspires us versus just doing something for the sake of doing it or thinking that we have to do it or we've been fed a narrative. But I feel like there's this big shift that is happening. I feel it in myself. I've definitely felt really like crowded in my mind and my body over the past couple of years, and I feel slowly coming out of it. And this can be a few factor of things. But if you were there and you're feeling like, I want to make a change, I want to make a shift, I want to create more in my life, I want to do more and be more. I had this conversation with my client today on a call, and we were looking at her 2025, and I said to her, she said a vision she had, and I could see her face light up. I could see, like, quite visibly, her energy got lighter when she was speaking about it. And I asked her, if you were to have that in this time next year or December 2025, how does that make you feel? And immediately she was like, inspired. It feels so good. It feels so right. But that's unfortunately where most people, and this is why I have high achieving, success driven women come work with me, because unfortunately, so many people get to that vision and they feel good in their body and they feel it all. And then they stop there. They stop there. They let the fear impede them. They allow the thoughts of scarcity and lack to overtake them and to overwhelm them. But now is your time. If you clicked on this video, now is your time to understand that you are consciousness. You are not your thoughts. You are not even your identity. You choose to attach your consciousness to an identity. What identity are you addicted to? Is it the lack? Is it the suffering? Is it not being able to receive what you truly want to receive in life? Is it not being able to actually be who you want to be? Or are you actually putting yourself in a position to attract and be addicted to an identity that serves you, that can fully see that everything that is happening that you perceive as negative is happening for you, everything that you perceive as positive is equally happening to serve you and to bring you into a point of neutralization, into equilibrium? And you are experiencing everything as it is because of your consciousness, because of your point of attraction, because of where you are all of the time. And what I've been learning about myself, especially over the past 4 to 5 weeks, when I'm feeling this change energetically, when I'm feeling my body shift, when I look at myself, I mean, when I go through a whole reset, a whole evolution of my identity and who I am and the changes I want to make, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I don't even know who that person is anymore, because I'm starting to disconnect from an old identity. I'm starting to see things differently. I'm starting to be differently. And so I want you to take time and take the moment to really integrate everything you're learning, all of the limiting beliefs that are coming up. There have been so many limiting beliefs that have been coming up this year for me, but more specifically over the past couple of months, that I am learning, how do I dissolve these and integrate them in a way that is giving me feedback so I can grow, so I can expand, so I can be better, so I can do better, so I can receive more, so I feel safe to receive more. And that's what it's about. It's about receiving more in this life. And it's not in a selfish way, it's not in a greedy way. It's about receiving the things that you truly want to receive, whether it is quite literally money in your bank account to put down a house deposit, or maybe it's getting a trip paid for or gifted, or maybe it is, a new couch for your apartment, or a new car, or a course, or like whatever it is. What are those things that you bringing in? Just like I got my client to do, like, visualize yourself now, this time next year. What is that you truly need to embody and integrate into your life? But can you take from your now, your present moment, your 3D physical reality, and get feedback on? Everything is data points in our life. Just like you have social media managers talk about analytics and looking at your content and learning what does well and what doesn't do well, it's exactly the same concept. It's exactly the same concept as that, is like learning what has been going well, what isn't going well. What do you want to tenfold, 10x that view and integrate? What do you want to eliminate or delegate? And I think that when we start to tap into our most inspired pathway, it feels easier. It feels effortless. When we are, I posted something on Threads the other day. I put core belief. I attract more abundance the more fun I have. And I truly believe that because there is so much evidence over the past few years to show me that the more fun that I'm having in life, the more joy that I'm feeling, the more expansive I'm feeling, the more abundance I create, money, relationships, wellness, experiences. But the more that I want to stay in old conditioning and old programming, the more that I want to constrict myself, the harder it's going to feel. The more I'm going to feel like I'm climbing this summit that just keeps going forever. And that's where most people are. And so if you clicked on this, now is the time to change. Now is the time to embody. Now is the time to integrate. It is time to utilize what is coming up and just use it as feedback. Any fears that are coming up, neutralize it. Any judgments about yourself, any shaming about yourself, understand it, get curious about it, learn from it. Most people do the inner work by saying, yeah, I know that I have a fear of judgment, or I know that I procrastinate, or I know that I sabotage, or I know that I need to work on, my relationship with money, or I know that I need to learn from my ex relationship. And they stop there because it's a dopamine hit to say those things, to say that, yeah, I'm aware. And I talk about awareness in two aspects. One, most people pride themselves on being self-aware. Self-awareness is saying, I'm aware that I'm procrastinating on this business project. Self-awareness is, I'm aware that I am living paycheck to paycheck because every paycheck I pay my bills and then I spend it on online shopping. Self-awareness is, I know that I keep going on dates with men or women that are emotionally unavailable, and I choose that every single time. Conscious awareness, this is something that I teach my clients how to step into, is actually saying, I know that I am procrastinating on this business project, but I'm going to understand where that fear actually stemmed from. Where in my past memory did that create a resentment that is now transitioning into my present moment as a fear that I'm projecting out into my future imagination? That's conscious awareness. And then actually doing the work to feel into that and understand that and get really curious why that is the way you are, why you are responding in the way you are. And if you've clicked on this video and you were so ready for change, you were so ready to welcome more, you were so ready to do more, you can't just watch this video and not integrate and not embody and not do anything and have this as a dopamine hit. I don't want this video for anyone watching it to be a quick, instant gratification and instant dopamine hit at all. I want this video to be for people that go, you know what, enough is enough. It is time to take everything from my life as feedback and to integrate that and change my self-concept and to change the way I perceive myself and to change my identity. Like I said, your identity is not you. Your consciousness is you. You attach your consciousness to an identity. And right now, if you're not getting the results that you desire in life, it's because you've attached your consciousness to an identity that is addicted to suffering, that is addicted to lack, that is addicted to scarcity and fear. You need to know that's separate, and you can eliminate that. It can take a bit of time, but it's doable. I say this with my clients time and time and time again. And so now is the time to call yourself out, to have a pep talk with yourself, and to just find the things that inspire you and move you in life and the things that are in alignment with what you truly value. You cannot go wrong. There are so many videos going around now I've seen on TikTok of talking about, let's not normalize going on a holiday every year. Let's not normalize going on bougie dinners. Let's not normalize buying all of that. The issue aside from that is there a problem with overconsumption in this day and age? Absolutely there is, but that's a separate issue, right? And something I'm not going to discuss. But what I was conflicted about with these videos, it is saying to us, let's not normalize being abundant in experiences and money and choices and being able to make a change. Why can't we normalize these things? Why do we have to normalize having to work for 2 years and waiting for a holiday in 2 years' time to book off some annual leave. Now, I'm not making just at 9 to 5 jobs. My partner works a 9 to 5 job, but it's within his values. It's what inspires him. A lot of people aren't inspired by their 9 to 5s. Even people in businesses, it goes the same. But what are you normalizing? Are you getting sucked into these videos and you're like, oh yeah, see, like I don't always have to have a vacation, or I don't always have to do this or a car, or like I don't always have to, invest in someone. What do you want to normalize? That's the question that I had to ask myself. What do I actually want to normalize? Because I can feed into this, but that just attaches to my identity of suffering and lack and stress and keeping myself small. Because if you say to yourself, yeah, I don't need to normalize all these great things, but deep down, like that's what you want, you will never be happy. And you will always find a reason, consciously or subconsciously, to not work towards those things. You are the gift of life. You are the gift of life. You have the power of life. You have the power to choose and change and do things differently. If you're waking up every single day on autopilot, normalizing doing the same thing over and over again, know that you are watching this, you have been attracted to watching this for a reason. And now I feel it in my bones that we are going to see such a shift where people are tapping into their innate power, tapping into their beautiful ability to create change and be change and do things differently. And I think that's great, but it's really just getting honest with yourself. Do you want to get to this time next year and be in the same cycles, repeating the same things? You hate your job, get a new job. You don't like your business, start it again or go get a job. You don't like your relationship or you feel unfulfilled, go get couples therapy or break up if this person isn't benefiting you in the long term. You don't like the way that your body looks, or you don't like the way that you feel, make a different choice. This is the simplicity of it. It gets to be that simple. And I think we like to overcomplicate it because it makes us feel better if we don't achieve it. If we overcomplicate something and we don't achieve it, then the reason is it's because it's too much, it's too complicated. I can't start that. I don't know the answers to that. You get to create change. I think there's so much evidence in everyone's life. I think that we get too sucked into what's happening out there, all the doom and gloom. Is that life? Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, law of polarity. Without peace, we can't have war, and without war, we can't have peace in any aspect. And so I think really being able to embody, we are experiencing simultaneously everything in life. We need to experience it to understand how to integrate, and we get to make a choice. We get to make a change. Anyway, I'm going to get ready for my next client call. I hope that this has spoken to someone. I hope that this has helped someone. And I hope that this really, it's not just like a dopamine hit for you. I really hope that this is something that you take away and you're like, you know what? It's time to do things differently because I'm sick of doing the same thing. And that's exactly where I was a few years ago before I started my business. I was like, yeah, I want this and I want that and I want to live this type of life, but I was doing nothing towards it. You have the power within you. Don't ever forget that. I will speak to you in the next live tomorrow. Bye.